The protesters made another attempt to take back Bahrain's main square today. Police and soldiers fired anti-aircraft guns in the air and rubber bullets and birdshot at anyone who approached. But the bravest, or the craziest, refused to be intimidated.
The bullet hit him in the head. There was a fountain of blood coming out of his head.
The question is, how much bloodier can it get? The stretchers kept rolling in.
This is the casualty center in Bahrain's main hospital. 10 minutes before we got here, shots rang out in Pearl Square as protesters tried to get there. Live ammunition was fired, and doctors are telling us that there have been many people injured.
The triage was desperate, and doctors said several of the wounded were in serious condition. Doctors also accused the security forces of blocking access to the wounded.
The policemen, they take us from the ambulance, put us on our faces on the ground, and they start beating us.
But rather than suppressing dissent, each crackdown seems to add fuel to the anger. Today's rally began with several thousand people turning out for the funeral of two men killed in fighting in the central square on Thursday into yet another rally. A leading Shiite cleric upped the rhetoric by terming yesterday's violence a massacre. And the chants escalated from demands for political reform to calls for the ouster of the ruling Al Khalifa family, Sunnis who rule over a kingdom where 70% of the population is Shiite. In a sign of how deep divisions are here, government supporters staged their own rally from the country's main Sunni mosque, linked to the ruling family, a 200-year-old dynasty teetering on the brink of chaos.
We're reporting from indoors and over Skype, and it's an indication of just how tense things are here. The authorities are seizing equipment from us. They don't want these pictures going out. And one reason is this situation has not yet been resolved. More demonstrations are planned for tomorrow, and if any of the protesters shot today died, there will be funerals tomorrow, and that's another possibility of violence.
Alan, the White House has repeatedly told Bahrain's rulers to show restraint in dealing with protesters. But just how far can Washington actually push for that?
Erica, the U.S. can't really push Bahrain too hard and too far because they need this place as a base for the Fifth Fleet. But there are indications that there is some movement. The king tonight said he had appointed the Crown Prince to negotiate with all parties in Bahrain with a view to ending the crisis. So perhaps there was a little U.S. pressure in there. It certainly shows that the Bahrainis would like to do this by dialogue and not by violence, if that's at all possible.
Alan Pizzey in Bahrain tonight. Alan, thanks.